The morning sun slid over the city skyline like molten gold, spilling light between the towering glass buildings. From her penthouse window, Amelia Grayson could see the bustling streets below already alive with horns, hurried footsteps, and caffeine-fueled determination. It was a familiar scene, one she'd ruled over for years as the formidable CEO of Grayson & Company, one of the most influential consulting firms in the country. To the outside world, she was a portrait of control. Every suit pressed to perfection. Every word in meetings calculated like a move on a chessboard. A name people whispered about with equal parts admiration and intimidation. But all of that power meant nothing in the quiet of her home, where the only voice she wanted to hear had been silent for 3 years. Lily's silent 7-year-old Lily sat curled on the corner of the plush sofa, her knees tucked to her chest. A doll rested in her lap. A fraying ballerina whose pink tutu had dulled with time. Lily's gaze stayed fixed on it, her delicate fingers absent-mindedly straightening the tiny fabric bow. "Sweetheart," Amelia said softly from the doorway, "we're going out today. Somewhere different. Just you and me." Lily didn't lift her head. No flicker of acknowledgement. 3 years earlier, Amelia's husband had walked out without warning. One slammed door and he was gone, leaving behind a trail of cold legal papers and a little girl who simply stopped speaking. At first, Amelia assumed it was shock. Doctors suggested trauma therapy. Psychologists used the term selective mutism, a coping mechanism, they called it, but to Amelia, it was like her daughter's voice had been locked away in some unreachable place, and nothing, no therapy, no coaxing, no bribing with toys, could bring it back. The playground. By mid-morning, they were in the back of her chauffeured SUV, the city skyline shrinking behind them. Amelia's assistant had suggested a small neighborhood park, one of those tucked-away playgrounds that felt like another world. When they arrived, Amelia noticed the difference immediately. Instead of the chaos of urban parks, this one was framed by tall oak trees, their leaves swaying gently in the breeze. A small sandbox, a couple of swings, a faded red slide, simple, unassuming. She took Lily's hand. "Just a little while, okay?" They walked to the swings. Amelia lifted her daughter onto one and gave a gentle push. The chains creaked softly. Lily's tiny shoes pointed forward, then back, her gaze still far away. Amelia was about to speak when she heard a voice behind her. "The stranger, mind if we join?" She turned to see a man standing a few feet away, a boy of about Lily's age peeking out from behind his leg. The man was tall, with dark hair swept casually to the side. His shirt sleeves were rolled up, revealing strong forearms, and his jeans looked worn from use rather than fashion. "I'm Daniel," he said with a warm nod. "And this is my son, Caleb." Amelia hesitated. She wasn't used to strangers approaching so casually, not without an agenda, not without recognizing her face from business magazines. But this man seemed different. Caleb stepped forward, holding a bright red toy car. Without a word, he placed it on the swing beside Lily's and gave it a little push. Lily's eyes flicked to the car, then to Caleb. Amelia was about to politely thank them and move on when it happened. The first words, "Hi," Lily whispered. Amelia froze. Her heart slammed in her chest. The sound was faint, fragile, but unmistakable. She hadn't imagined it. "Hi," Lily repeated, this time a little louder, her lips curving into the faintest smile. Amelia's CEO composure crumbled in an instant. Her hands trembled. She wanted to cry, to grab her daughter and hold her, to hear that word over and over again. But she didn't move. Daniel smiled gently, like this was the most natural thing in the world. "Hi, Lily. That's a beautiful name." Lily blushed and glanced away, but she didn't retreat. Caleb grinned and pushed the toy car toward her. "Want a race?" To Amelia's shock, Lily nodded. And then, laughed. The bench conversation. They moved to the slide, the two children chasing each other in the sunlight. Amelia sat on a nearby bench, her mind spinning. "How?" she asked, her voice low, almost afraid to break the spell. Daniel's gaze stayed on the children. "Sometimes, it's about the right person at the right time." It sounded too simple to be true, but something in his tone made her pause. He spoke like someone who understood more than he was saying. Over the next hour, they talked in easy fragments. Daniel told her he was a single father, that Caleb's mother had passed away after a long illness. He spoke with quiet strength, no self-pity. Amelia didn't mention her career at all. For the first time in years, she was just a mom. When it was time to leave, Lily hugged Caleb and whispered something Amelia couldn't hear. She said, "See you soon," Daniel said with a small smile. The connection that night, Amelia lay awake replaying the moment. Lily's voice, light, tentative, but alive, echoed in her mind. She didn't know if this was a one-time miracle or the start of something more. But she knew one thing: she had to see Daniel again. She began taking Lily to the same playground every Saturday. And every Saturday, Daniel and Caleb were there. Lily's words came slowly at first, a yes here, a look there, but each one was like gold. Amelia started noticing things about Daniel. How he crouched to Caleb's level when speaking. How his laugh was unguarded. How he listened more than he spoke. And yet, there was a guardedness in his eyes. Something unspoken. The reveal was on the fourth Saturday that the truth slipped out. They were watching the kids build a sandcastle when Daniel said quietly, "I knew who you were the first time we met." Amelia's stomach tightened. "You recognized me." "Not from magazines," he said. "From the hospital. 3 years ago." Her pulse quickened. "I don't." "My wife was in a car accident," Daniel continued. "You were there. You were the one who pulled her from the car before the ambulance arrived." Amelia's mind flashed back, the rainy night, the mangled vehicle, the unconscious woman. She'd stayed until paramedics took over, then slipped away before the news could find her. "She didn't survive," Daniel said softly. "But she had time to say goodbye to Caleb because of you. She told me, if I ever met you, I had to thank you." Amelia's throat tightened. "I didn't know. I think Lily spoke to me because, maybe she sensed it. That connection. Kids know things we don't." The turning point from then on, the meetings at the playground became something neither of them admitted needing, but both did. Lily's voice grew stronger. Her laughter came more easily. And Amelia found herself looking forward to Daniel's steady presence in a way that scared her. One evening, after the children had gone down the slide for the 100th time, Daniel looked at her and said, "You've given Caleb a friend. And maybe, you've given me one too." Amelia smiled. "Maybe we've given each other more than that." The ending months later, Lily stood in front of her class at a school recital, reciting a poem, her voice clear, strong, and full of life. Daniel and Caleb were in the audience beside Amelia, their applause blending with hers. For the first time in years, Amelia felt complete. Not because she'd solved everything, not because life was suddenly perfect, but because she'd learned that sometimes, healing comes not in boardrooms or therapy offices, but on a quiet Saturday, at a small playground, when the right person arrives at the right time.